Welcome back to the Dhane and Josh show, presented by Milk for Health.
We're super excited about our special guest this episode, Buffalo's own Joe Andreessen. Let's get started. Now, before we get to Joe, obviously, we got to talk a little bit about ourselves. Talk about Banner Night and what it was like for you.
You know what? It was electric, to say the least. To kind of go into those type of games, you never know what to expect. You're obviously thinking about the Banner Night, but you're also thinking about your opponents. You don't want to be too focused on last year, but obviously you deserve to be there. And it's kind of reminding the guys that we're here for a reason. Cherish it, but right when the ball put down, we need to reset. So it was an amazing feeling, obviously, to look up there and see 2023, 2024. It just makes you hungrier to put up 2025, hopefully, and that's what you play for. So how about you?
Yeah, no, it was cool. It was insane. I mean, obviously, Bandit Land showed out, as they always do. And it's funny, before games, I look over at you, and there's nothing like 19,000 fans chanting "Let's go Bandits" before that anthem goes, and especially after watching that banner go up into the rafters, like probably one of the most special nights of my life. So definitely something I'll cherish. Is it hard for you to kind of switch modes after celebrating last year, and now hey, we got a Rochester team that's looking to take our heads off?
You know what? You don't even in that moment, I don't even remember that moment, to be honest. I was so focused on hey, we don't want to end this night losing this game. At the end of the day, it's so special for the fans, it's special for the organization, it's special for us as well. Mm-hmm. But it happens so quick, even though it feels like forever, I guess you could say. And at the end of the day, you just want to get going and play. You stand around for 15 minutes, and I'm sure they're in the locker room ready to play as well. So it's just, as athletes, you're not asked to do too many things. One of those things is to refocus and think about the game ahead. So it was amazing to kind of get I think 5-6-0 lead right off the hop. But again, it was a special night for not only Banditland but for ourselves, and I'll remember for the rest of my life. How about you?
Yeah, no, for me it's it's tough. It's tough for me because you're just trying to really take in that moment, right? Because it's something that it doesn't happen often, and when you're locked arms, you're just you're full of excitement, and I really try to do my best to use that energy and put it into the game and put it into my game and use it to kind of just focus on working hard and flying around out there. But it's hard, man. It's hard because then it's okay, we got Roch. What do they do? All right, they're gonna pressure over the top. They're gonna force us down the lane. Hutchcraft, what's he doing, right? Gilroy's trying to get in my hands. What's going on, right? So all those things I try to take into those mental notes. Once that anthem goes, to try to reset and refocus. So yeah, man, it was fun. Obviously, 3-0 start, which is good, but we got to keep rolling, man.
Yeah,
we got to keep going. So we'll be right back with our new segment, the Producer's Pick. All right, we're back. It's now time for Producer's Pick, presented by Milk for Health, where we take a look back at some of, they're not even our favorite plays of the game. They're, I guess, the producers' plays. So this is going to be new for us, but, Kurt, you're going to have to lead us through this.
Let's go. All right, I got my own segment here.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Well, I think you made it up.
That's why I'm the producer. We're going to go through some film here. We're going to watch film, us here. We got it up on the big screen. I got a couple clips here. We're going to start not with you guys, but with our good friend Bucky.
Oh, yeah.
In this play.
Yes.
The behind the back, just absolutely
electric.
The feed from Dhane.
That's not even good.
Now, when somebody does a play like that, when they make a play like that, do you know what you're doing, or are you just throwing it at the net and hoping?
That's
if it was
tough.
me, it'd be thrown in the net. No,
Have you ever scored a backhand goal before?
I have not.
Because
no.
Bucky's done this multiple times.
So
in
he
front
knows
of
what
the
he's
net.
doing.
He knows what he's doing. But also, if you rewind this, like the fact where you don't even really get to see the whole play. He slips through, and then that jab step is crazy.
Yeah.
Because like he's catching it and going to the net, right? And to have the wherewithal to jab, get top side, looking like he's gonna throw it around his defender.
Goalie
and then-
has no idea.
And then
Right.
instead goes behind his back and just floats it to the corner.
Crazy.
Disgusting.
Impressive, yeah.
Very, very impressive.
Don't even know how to act.
Vet. That's just a vet.
Yeah.
That's just a vet doing
Yeah.
vet things right there.
All right. That's number one. Number two, we're going to talk about number one on the floor. This guy scores a hat trick in the banner raising night, and all three of these goals are absolutely incredible. Like jaw-dropping goals. The first goal here bounces it, gets it in front. All three of these guys are lost. All three of them, including our dear friend Ethan O'Connor.
Oh, poor
Just
guy. Well, it's crazy because like each one of those spins is like a little fake, right? So like he turns around, and I don't even know if people realize this. When he catches it, he turns around and boom, it's a fake, right? And boom, another one. And so all the guys are like, oh, he shot it. Like, oh, no, he didn't. Where is it? Oh, he shot it again. Like, oh my God, no, he still has it. Then it's like, oh, it's in the back of your net. And they're also looking at each other like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
And at that time, I feel like there's nothing you can do.
Right.
No.
And
Stop.
you're not gonna, you can't cross check Doga. He's too
Yeah,
strong.
yeah,
He's too
yeah.
big. And like Josh said, like he does throw those behind the back or
he'll
the
shoot
like
those.
those shots. So like
Yeah.
him faking that first one is crazy. And then
Right here,
I
boom.
remember passing to him. He doesn't score. It comes off the boards, and I didn't even know he had the ball. I thought he was faking like he had the ball.
Nobody
Honestly.
but him knew that he had the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
Clearly.
It
All
was
right.
impressive.
Let's look at number two here. Behind the net, doing his thing.
this is
Too
just
strong.
this is just where like sometimes you give him the ball and like if you watch us, we're all just standing because it's like
Yeah.
you just watch.
Yeah.
You're like I don't even know what you're gonna do, but like this is gonna be sick.
Look at this. I mean,
You're going to change.
Yeah.
I'm saying this is a goal.
he doesn't even have eyes at this point. Look at this. He doesn't even know he's throwing
That's
the ball.
impressive.
There's a picture of this where literally you see his chin strap is like around his eye.
Yeah.
It's absolutely
He's so
insane.
good.
So-
He doesn't even need to see the net.
So that's number two. And of course, the third one. Look at this guy putting in work. He probably wanted to shoot really bad right here.
Yeah.
Behind the back pass.
Fake coming in. Okay. Oh, Toei. Just gross. You can't teach that.
all highlights.
Three of these goals are Sports Center top 10. Like
You see Mickey?
Mickey's yes.
No, he's throwing up. He's
Just unbelievable.
Yeah, I'd hate to play against this guy. I remember in practice I was playing actually offense, no difference, and he was playing defense, and he headbutted me, and I was concussed, I'm pretty sure.
I mean, Connor Fields, great player, but poor guy has to cover him behind the net.
yeah. He's probably sitting here like, what's
Dunk.
going on?
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
Good
So shout out number one.
Yes, he
all
did.
three of his goals are
Yes.
just unbelievable.
always a treat to watch.
Let's look at this one here. We got this
oh, yeah.
beauty of a feed. Josh scores. I think Dhane was open.
I think so,
Dane-
too.
I think Dhane was open. If you look at this replay, Dhane had the whole left side of the net. Josh is coming down.
Wide open.
Pause it right there.
But look. If you look closely, there's a stick in the lane.
I'm jumping.
Well, what's crazy is sometimes in warm-ups, right? Actually, all the time in warm-ups now. Like, you ever seen those basketball videos where the entire team, when they go for an alley-oop and a dunk,
Yeah,
the entire
yeah.
team runs up and jumps and slams
I do that
it in?
a lot.
Yeah.
So we do it sometimes
Okay.
with Bucky and stuff.
Yeah.
And it actually looks like he's doing it for
So
me.
here it is. Coming down.
He jumps and he's like, ooh.
You ever see the
Just-
LeBron, Dwayne Wade
Yeah.
picture? That's what we tried to recreate. I
mean-
hope somebody got the photo. That would be so cool.
Dane, you're lucky you weren't in the crease because that
Look
would've
how
been a real
high I
shame,
got
but-
up there.
Yeah, look at those hops.
To be honest with you, that ball's in the net before you even jump. So don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. The best part, though, is like after we're looking at each other, we're like, ooh.
Also, this pass from Bucky is great. Just,
Amazing.
Just
It's
toss
gross.
it.
Yeah.
Gross.
See ya.
Absolutely
Too easy.
gross.
That was sweet.
Too
Absolutely
good.
gross.
All right, we got one more. And this was the one to start the game. What was it?
you know
20
what?
seconds in? The Great Dane doing the classic Great Dane. The
Hold
only
on.
reason I picked this clip is because what is this celebration? What is that?
Honestly,
Were you trying to jump on the boards or
I didn't.
Look at this, just belly flopping.
How did I know I was gonna score? I didn't even know I was gonna shoot the ball and then score first shot, and then the adrenaline just like took me to the boards, and then I was like, I gotta do something crazy, and I jumped up.
Look at the hops. Look where his foot lands. His foot is not even halfway up these boards.
It's so funny seeing fans' reaction, like they're trying to get your attention. I don't even know what I'm looking at. I'm not even looking at like.
Old buddy over here is hilarious.
Yeah.
This guy's
Yeah,
always
flexing.
the
Yeah.
biggest hype guy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to him next time. You're the
Incredible.
biggest. You're the second biggest hype guy.
All right, we'll watch the actual goal again because Dhane has 500 goals that look exactly like this.
Yes. Oh, look. Should
Fake.
I pass it? Oh, panic.
Bounce
Damn it.
shot.
It's a great shot. Far foot.
Thank you.
Really,
I did
really
think
can't
about
beat
that before, like in
far
my head.
foot.
I swear to God.
Far foot. It's, like,
Too
it's a
good.
great spot. I will say though, it was pretty funny to watch you try to jump up and just toe pick.
You know what
the
my
boards,
favorite thing is celebrating with Bucky and now Ian, and they're in my armpits, and I'm way taller than them.
Makes you feel tall,
Makes
huh?
me feel like that.
It
Uh-huh.
is good.
Look at that. Too
It
good.
is good.
Because we have a video of Josh. I don't have it with me here, but we have a video of Josh when he jumped on the boards in the finals last year.
Yeah.
You got up.
I got
Oh.
up there.
You got your
All
foot
right.
up on the ledge.
But to be
Dhane
honest
needs to
with you,
learn.
But to be honest with you, if you watch, I struggled to get up. like I had to bend my knees real
You're
bad.
a little sore after that.
Yeah, I
one,
was
too?
like, oh.
Now I'm
damn
gonna
it.
try my hardest.
Don't do it.
No, you're gonna hurt
No,
You
you're
yourself.
right.
hurt yourself jumping up and celebrating.
I like this producer pick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's all I got. So we're
Hey, well done. That's why we brought you on the show.
next time I'll have some good ones. Promise.
Producer Kurt,
I'll
always
keep it up.
coming in hot. I mean, listen, there's nothing better than relieving
your own
some,
highlights?
well, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Just wait till I start pulling out the lowlights.
Yeah. What you
Oh,
did wrong.
Sitting in the film
Yeah,
room.
yeah,
We already
yeah.
see that enough.
It's all right. You and JT will be on the same.
I'll text them to see the good
just
ones.
be like, hey, I know you didn't see this one, but you should check this out. It's pretty bad. Well, listen, big shout out to you for the new producer picks. You crushed it. But we got someone special coming up right after this. Joe Andreessen coming up.
It's time to welcome our guest to the show. Born and raised Buffalo, played for the UB Bulls, and now linebacker for the Buffalo Bills. Joe Andreessen, thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Good, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm cold, man.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm cold.
It started snowing on the way over here, actually, when I was driving here.
Yeah.
He's from Vancouver, so he doesn't get much snow. It's a lot of rain going on there.
Oh, really?
So I'm from Kitchener, Ontario, so it's like not too far, hour 45. We get the same amount of snow. So I'm used to this, him not so much.
Yeah, I just convinced my parents to move here, and my mom's pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's
All that shoveling. and
yeah,
stuff,
she's not happy. But apparently we're supposed to get like the coldest weather in like 10 years here.
What, this upcoming week?
Apparently, like in the next couple of
I
weeks,
didn't
there's
hear
like
about
a
that.
big snow front or a
Yeah.
cold front coming in. So, yeah, my mom's gonna beat me up probably once she hears that.
How was your Christmas and holidays? Obviously, you're in season. We kind of had like bye weeks and whatnot, but it being on a Wednesday, like what'd you get up to?
So Wednesday's usually a long day for the Bills, but we were fortunate enough to get off that day, so I was able to spend it with my family and went to my aunt's house, enjoyed it with the little cousins and everything like that, so it was good.
That's
It was a lot
awesome.
relaxing.
That's awesome. How many days a week do you get off?
So usually one. Sometimes we get like Victory Monday, but like even on the off days, everyone goes in and stuff like that, just like recovering and everything like that.
Right.
Film.
Damn. Yeah. I mean, you guys, your routine is crazy. Everything you guys go through is very obviously structured. Is that normal for you guys to be like, hey, it's Christmas, take the day, be with your families, chill out? Like,
I don't think it's usual in the NFL. No,
Yeah.
I think kind of just the place we were at, our record and everything like that, they allowed us to have Christmas off, but usually it's pretty, people get in routines. Some they emphasize a lot, like especially us rookies. They were talking to us like when we first came in, everything like you have to get your routine down, do this, and they've even talked about guys that like, vets that have been in the league for so long. They have like very strict routines, like they're doing this at this time, and everything like that. So I don't think that getting Christmas off is like a usual thing, especially during a Wednesday.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
like our heavy day. That's like the first day of the week that, we're going into opponent film, breaking everything down, and like a heavy practice day too. So
Yeah, our schedule is kind of weird. Like we only practice Wednesdays during the week, and then we play on weekends, obviously, and so for it to fall on a Wednesday, it's hard because, again, for the holidays, you're around family, you're having fun. I know we hosted, like, I went home for Christmas for the first few days, and then we hosted, like, during Christmas, and we had people over and whatnot, and they're like staying up to, like, I don't know, after midnight, and I'm like, I got to go to bed. Like, we have a game this week, and they're like, oh, stay out. It's like, no, I need to go to bed, and you're hosting, and you love hosting parties, but then you want to get away from it as well. So it was just like a little bit different in this change, and then obviously New Year's, spending it together. Like, you want to have fun, you want to enjoy the moment, but like it's a quick turnaround. And like as athletes, you're just like, this is my job. You can't really. You can only enjoy it to a certain extent, so totally understand to a different level. For sure.
1,000,000%. You mentioned obviously being a rookie, you know, kind of rewinding back in time a little bit, you know, to getting that tryout at the Bills rookie minicamp. You know, what was your mindset like going into there, and you know, how were you feeling?
So a little more backstory on that too. So kind of you do like the draft process and everything like that, and kind of with like my pro day and just my like film during the college season and everything like that. You know, I kind of was hoping to be signed right after the draft, but everything didn't work out exactly how I wanted to. And so I got the rookie minicamp invites, and there are some teams I could choose from. And my agent talked to me, and he said we should go to Kansas City and the Bills. So it was kind of like, I don't want to sound ungrateful, but like, you know, I was kind of like pissed off. I was like, damn, I wanted to be signed by a team. And, but I was like, oh, well, like, might as well go to these mini camps. Just because, like, also too, like, you know, I've talked to people like before that, and, you know, it's very hard to make a roster from a mini camp tryout. So, you know, I wasn't like pessimistic, I guess, but like, I was like, damn, like, I really want to be signed. So, kind of like I did the Kansas City one the week before, and you know, kind of like as the people told me, I thought I did well there, but you know, they said like we like the way you put on film here, but we'll call you during the season if we have like spots open for you, because they were pretty much already set on linebackers and everything like that. So kind of like what people told me, like the Kansas City one. So then the Bills came up, and you know, but kind of I got a different vibe once I was at the Bills too. It was like, okay, like. I don't know if I'm allowed to swear on this. Or not.
Whatever.
But like, you know, like I felt like they were like more than like Kansas City was. If that makes sense. And so that was good. And then obviously after they came up to me and they said, oh, they want to have a physical for you. And my agent called me. He's like, oh, that's good. That means like, you know, they're interested in signing you. And then my agent eventually called me and said they're going to sign you. So. My family came down to the facility and everything. We took pictures, and it was definitely a cool moment. But then, you know, OTA started like right after that. So it was like cool moment, but, you know, right back into work. And that was kind of been a big theme for the season. Yeah,
it's kind of crazy, like how ours works kind of thing. It's kind of, I don't want to say similar because it's not, but it's like a numbers game, right? You come into camp, they draft players, they have free agents that come to camp, and you have obviously returner players, and you have guys that you know is going to be on the team. You have guys that get drafted that are probably going to be on the team depending on where you get drafted, and then you have those other guys that are coming to camp, and you don't know where you're kind of seeing on this, like the scout or whatever it may be, you being like, okay, this guy, I'm fighting for a spot with through this guy, but are they just inviting me because they need numbers at camp? Because there's a lot of older guys, and we have scrimmages and whatnot, and obviously at camp you want as many numbers as possible so you can get through drills and whatnot, so you're not messing with like the older guys and whatnot. And so I kind of understand what you're saying to an extent, because we have guys like that again, I feel like our GM just drafts, or not drafts guys, but brings rookies to camp or other guys to camp just to like have numbers. But
it is funny though, because like at times you're looking at the roster and you know there's probably only a couple different guys that are like, you know, plug and play, or like, you know, it's like, well, this guy might be getting older, so like, you know, this guy could, you know, take that guy's spot, right? So it's interesting to see how that kind of, you know, shakes out. You know, was there a moment like during that camp that you were like, nah, like I'm here, like I can really play?
During the rookie mini camp or just during training camp in itself?
Either one.
Rookie mini camp's a little different. You know, they're installing like kind of base stuff within the scheme and everything like that. But during training camp, that's like when it gets like serious because you're with all the vets and everything like that, guys that have been around there. I don't know if there was an exact moment specifically. I just like kind of had a mindset during the whole thing. Obviously, I went to Bryant, UB, not the biggest of schools. You know, I'm out there with Power 5 guys, you know, that went to SEC schools, everything like that. And I remember, so when I was at Bryant, we had a transfer from a Power 5 school. A kid said to me, he's like, I don't care like where he was from, like we're at the same place now, which I don't know why. Like I just like remember that, and that's kind of like,
I like that.
That's kind of like was my mindset during the camp.
Right.
During like, you know, I'm with all these guys. They've been in the league this amount of time, or they went to this school.
Right.
And you know, I'm from UB. I was a rookie minicamp tryout. I ended up getting signed to the 90-man roster, everything like that. I'm not supposed to make the team, but you know, my mindset was just like, it doesn't matter. Like we're in the same place now. Like what we do on this field, like, isn't about the past. It's what we do right here. So I don't think there's one specific moment. Just a lot of grinding days, and there's definitely lows throughout that where I'm like, damn, like I don't know if I can do this. You know, there's like definitely a lot of those moments. Like it wasn't all highs, but yeah, I think when you're stuck in that process, it's just you're not like thinking about stuff like that, really.
Right, and I feel like you kind of have like nothing to lose to an extent.
Yeah,
and like obviously going to training camp in Buffalo, like I feel like the whole city's cheering for you. Like they're rooting for you, and I think that's got to help a little bit as well. But that's crazy. Like,
yeah, where's because like for us, like when there's rookies, you know, sometimes we'll try to pick on them a little bit, like in drills or whether it's 2-on-2s or, you know, whatever it is. Where it's like, yeah, hey, listen, we're gonna teach this guy a lesson real quick. Was there any point in time where you're like, oh, okay, like these guys are putting me in my place a little bit?
Yeah. So special teams drills are probably, because for rookies, especially like linebackers, or you're trying to make the team, special teams are a huge part of making the team. You have to show that you are able to play special teams and that you're going to be good on special teams.
Right.
So, you know, and there's a lot of competition during camp. So, you know, if you're out there and you're out there against another vet, like he's going to try and embarrass you, you know, and there's a couple of times, you know, I don't want to say I got embarrassed, but, you know, like, you know, a little shoving after, because those guys have been in the league and they don't want this new rook taking their spot. Yeah. And, you know, I'd probably be the same way too, like you know, give them a little extra and stuff like that. But yeah, those special teams drills definitely get competitive.
Yeah, because like there's and obviously, you know, it's your buddies with Zach Belter, and even last year when he was a rookie, you know, he was getting caught holding guys' sticks a lot. And there's a couple of practices where guys were getting a little frustrated with him holding their
I think
their
I broke
sticks.
my stick over his back. I don't really set picks or anything like that, but he frustrated, got under my skin. But those are guys that you want to play with more so play against. So it was kind of.
Well, and that's the thing, right? It's like, you know, you and that, especially with belts, like there's a couple times last year where I came through the middle. We call it come through the wash, and he didn't see me coming at all, and I just folded him from behind, like just put him down onto the ground, like, and it obviously it's practice, so there's no penalties, right? So like coach is kind of like, let that one slide, right? So, but it's like you're testing those guys to see how they're going to react. You know, are they going to get up, throwing their stick, you know, throwing a hissy fit? And, you know, Belts was awesome, just got up and kept trying to find Dhane.
Yeah, Belter was probably pissed off underneath.
Oh yeah, he's like, oh, I'm gonna get him, right? But no, so I mean, I'm sure you're probably the same way. Like, you know, you can try, but like, I'm here to make a name for myself, and you know, it's just part of that whole feeling. But
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so I mean, talking about Belter, you guys have been close since high school, and obviously there's the one photo of you doing the arrivals.
Yep.
In the jersey. You know, did he make you do that?
You could have picked anybody else's jersey.
I texted him. I was looking for Bandits jerseys online.
Yeah.
And you know, because kind of talked to my friends that know Belter too, and I'm like, how do you get a Bandits jersey? I looked online a little bit, and I just wanted to make sure I got a real one, so I ended up texting Belter himself. And like, can you give me a jersey? And he hooked me up with it. So it was my idea, though. It was my idea. It wasn't his idea.
That's sweet. And kind of got to kind of go off that to a different extent, obviously, a couple of years ago, you're at Bills games, obviously, and you wore Matt Milano's jersey, and then like now you're playing with him. What's that like? That's got to be crazy.
Yeah, it was definitely a little weird at first, like not just Milano, but seeing all the guys in the locker room. Like when I first, like when I mentioned OTAs, when I first like got in the locker room and saw everyone, that was definitely. But yeah, Matt's a great guy, and we have a great linebacker room, so that makes it a lot
Did he ever
easier.
bug you about it?
No, he actually hasn't. Matt's really cool. He's like really low key, and he never got on me about it.
Don't get me wrong. Like I remember growing up, like freaking cheering for Mark Steinhaus, John Tavares, all these guys, and then like I don't know. I remember being at an autograph signing my rookie year, and JT's beside me, and he looks over at me, and he's like, "How old are you?" I was like, "I'm 19 years old." He's like, "I could be your dad." I was like, "Wow, this is interesting. This is cool." But like again, to kind of like you look up to these guys, and then you finally make it to where you want to be, and then to like you have to like make that switch pretty quick. And it took me a few years. I played with so many great players my first few years, but then obviously you're playing with some players, and then now you're playing against guys that you looked up to as well, and you're just like, okay, like, do I want to cross-check them a little bit harder, or like, do you like ease up because they're your idol, or like, it's just kind of, and then you're just like, no, I want to show these guys up. I want to like show them that I deserve to be here. So it's a pretty cool battle back and forth. So
it's tough because like you want to show them respect, right? But sometimes like the ultimate respect is like competing against you, right? So it's one of those. It's definitely a tough line to walk, and it's funny even like for me when I was a rookie and I came in like looking at you. And I'm like, oh, this guy's an MVP, blah, blah, blah. Kind of a big deal, I guess.
Oh, thanks. I didn't know you felt that way about me.
Back in the day.
Cool.
Yeah. But even so, same thing, like Steinhaus. A lot of these guys that I grew up watching, and it was like, and yeah, you might be that old that I grew up watching.
Say, you aged me or what? 2 years older.
But no, it's one of those things where it's a lot of fun, and especially when those guys test you too, like you want to rise to the occasion. So no, that's awesome, man. We've all kind of been through that as rookies too, so it's a lot of fun. But we'll be right back, real quick.
And we're back, and there's one question that I really wanted to ask, and do you have a welcome to the NFL moment, where whether it be obviously getting drafted, or seeing your jersey in the locker room for the first time, or making your first play, or whatever it may be? Obviously, everybody has like a welcome to the pro moment, but what's
Welcome
yours?
to the show, bud.
I think probably off the field would be. Maybe I have like multiple answers to this, but off the field, that the first time I seen a little kid wearing my jersey, that was definitely cool.
That's sweet.
And that even like, it's cool to see now. Like Christmas just came up, and I was getting tagged in like kids getting my jersey and stuff like that.
Cool.
So that stuff's awesome. That because I was like that kid growing up, getting jerseys and everything like that. So that like just super grateful for that. And then I think on the field, probably just suiting up for my first game compared to the preseason. Those first regular season game, it was week 4 against the Jaguars, and or week 3 maybe I'm selling myself short there. Week 3, and just different intensity. Even the special. I was just out there for special teams plays, but these dudes were going hard, and it was different from the preseason. The intensity was up, the stakes were up, everything felt up. So, yeah.
That's crazy. Well, what do you think the biggest difference is between obviously college to the NFL? Like obviously. Anybody can look around and be like, okay, like.
I mean, you even just talked about even like just like the intensity of it.
Right.
Like you see it on TV, and some of these hits you're like, oh, yeah, you're like, damn. Like,
yeah. There's a lot different.
Yeah.
Scheme wise, the hashes are different also in the NFL than they are in college. So the college hashes are wider, which kind of makes the field wider. So schemes are a little bit different. In college, they try and use the space more to the big side of the field. In the NFL, they're tighter, so there's not as much space to either side of the field. I don't know if you guys knew that. I feel like a lot of people don't really realize that.
I had no idea.
Right.
Yeah. So that's definitely different. Then it goes into like the scheme and everything, how offenses attack you, everything like that. But I would say probably player-wise, like the offensive lineman, the defensive lineman too, but obviously I go against the offensive lineman. they're definitely different breed in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because everyone's big in college. Like
Right.
the offensive linemen, you know, they're huge, but they don't move as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Like my first time when I went to OTAs, and there was no pads on OTAs, but just seeing these guys like run up to the second level, like these are huge human beings, like running really fast, like at you. Like it was like gotten like wide open,
Right.
like eye opening, and I was like, damn, this is different. And then then you get the pads on, and then they start putting their hands on you, and you're like, oh, this is different. This is different. And you have to start like hitting them more than you did in college. Like in college, it was like, oh, I'll just like go around them. Or, like,
Right, easy.
Yeah.
You're
NFL, you got to like deal with them straight up. It's hard.
Yeah, you're watching the NFL Combine like as like people like us, and you're seeing this like big man running a 40 like faster than like these guys should be. I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, it's crazy.
How are these guys doing that?
It's a
crazy.
moving fridge.
Yeah, literally. And you talk about like doing so much film, and obviously that's so important, and it's crazy because when I played football back in high school, obviously way smaller scale, but like I was a quarterback, and like the plays I had to remember, I was like, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna, whoever's open, I'm just gonna throw it to. And like for you guys, I feel like that's like you have to be a great athlete, you have to be a great football player, but I feel like that's also a thing that like obviously when coaches look at you, you have to be able to know a playbook just like that. And I couldn't imagine, especially in a quarterback's position, a linebacker's position, that kind of stuff. Like, what's that like? Like,
Yeah, it's definitely something they emphasize very big on the Bills. They're very big in, your approach, your preparation, how smart you are, especially on the defensive side. And, I think it's something you have to show them, especially during training camp, being a rookie, everything like that. You have to show them that they're going to be able to trust you with the defense, especially linebacker, making all the calls, setting the defense, getting everyone aligned and everything like that. So if they don't have that trust in you, they're not going to put you out there.
Right.
And that goes for every position, just maybe a little bit more at the linebacker spot because you're like calling the defense. But I think there's definitely guys that don't make the team or, make the cut because, they don't have that trust. You might be a great athlete and a great player, but, you don't have it in between the years, and that's why you might not make it. Obviously, some organizations might be different. That's just my experience at the Bills, but
right.
Yeah, that's crazy. And even you just talking about it, like, obviously, with the linebacker calling the defense, obviously you're getting, your play call or whatever from the coach, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Is there ever a time where you're like, we're gonna go? I mean, maybe not for you as a rook right now, but like, does that happen?
Yeah.
Like, I guess either with the Bills or just even in general, like in the NFL, where you hear guys being like, yeah, we're supposed to do this, but we're gonna do this.
So we have some stuff with the Bills that like some checks and stuff like that you can get to, but for the most part, no, like no one does that. Like you're calling with the coach, they're gonna be on you more if you don't. Like.
We've listened to a podcast. Paul George's in basketball, and they talk about like. I believe it's like 90% of the league doesn't know, like their players don't know how to run plays. And we look around this league, and for us in general, we're like, okay, who are the players that don't know how to do plays, like offensively? And like, there's quite a bit of guys that like, well, the coaches will say a play, and then they just like in one ear out the other.
Yeah.
And is that like, is there guys like that, like
who like this, like okay, this guy is such a freak athlete, and he's like one of the best at what he does, but he just can't figure it out between the years.
You
and it's like,
you don't have to say who, but any means.
Not at all.
We're just curious because like I feel like every sport has those guys, and like
we have those guys. In our
yeah, we definitely. Have
we're
those
like,
guys.
hey, like, just do this and this, and we'll go.
I'm not the brightest guy off the floor, but like one thing I understand is plays. Like you could tell me something, and it just clicks for whatever reason. And you probably have those guys as well, but you obviously have those other guys that
they're like, huh?
Yeah, what's going on?
Like, I think there definitely is. There probably is. Not so much like I feel like on my team on the Bills, but there probably is throughout the league. Like some guys are just. They have the gifts. And obviously some positions are easier probably to do that than others. Right. I think like the defensive side of the ball, it's a little harder just because, the defensive side is more like reactive compared to where the offense is just like, obviously if you're a smart player, it helps 100%. But, you're kind of initiating all the movement and everything like that where the defense is reacting to you.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
well, you see it like I feel like Travis Kelce is one of those guys that just finds space. He doesn't know what he's doing out there, but he's so good, and they can't tell him otherwise.
laterals.
And he'll admit it. And I feel like Gronkowski was one of those players.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just gonna go play, and like there are those players, but like you said, like on the defensive side, I feel like that's very important to like know your system. Like our defense is very good at like, this is our system, we're sticking with it. We have to be on the same page, and as long as we're on the same page, and I think that's what's made us successful. Like is for the defensive side. Offensive side, you can kind of get away with a little bit more, like freelancing a little bit.
But also it's different, right? Because like for us, like we're predominantly left-handers, stay on the right side of the field, and right-handers stay on the left side. So it's like we draw plays for a lot of times for our lefties, right? And then we'll look at each other like, okay, now flip it. Righties do the same thing. And like when we drop a play with the lefts, sometimes our rights are like, wait, you want us to do what? Or vice versa, right? So like it's funny. I think that was part of that podcast too, where it's like, guys should be able to be like, hey, like you're running a run, to the left, right? And then being able to flip it and be like, okay, we're gonna run a run to the right, right? And like some guys just can't do it for whatever reason. But it's funny. It's I don't want to call guys out.
Yeah, no, I don't expect him to do the same. I don't need to know. I wanted to know just in general. That's all I was asking. But
so I got obviously we talked about this a little bit before the show, and he brought up some crazy stories, and part of me thinks he's just making it up. So I wanted to ask you. So apparently, in high school, you had to wear a jersey with Velcro numbers on it.
Yeah.
Is that true? Like, so, what happened and why?
So I was 12 to start the season, and then kind of going through camp, they asked me to play O-line, and because I was one of the bigger kids on the team, like I guess Buffalo football, it's not like Florida football or down south football.
So you're playing a bunch of different positions.
Yeah. So like they asked me to play O-line, and I was like, sure. Like it might not have been the thing I wanted to do the most, but like for the team, I'll play O-line.
Yeah.
But they also wanted me to like run the ball, carry the ball, like do that kind of stuff as well. And you have to be like an eligible number to be able to like catch the ball and stuff in football.
Gotcha.
So I had the Velcro numbers just in case like I need to change to 12. So anyways, I went to 62. Like that was my number because that was the only jersey they had in my size. So I got my 12 jersey ordered. It came in. They asked me to play O-line. 62 was the only number they had left, so I'm like stuck with 62 now. And then just in case I needed to put 12 on, they Velcroed it so like it would go on, and then I was an eligible receiver.
So
hold on. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You're running off to the sideline. They're stripping the Velcro.
Yeah, it didn't happen like a crazy amount, just because you need to be able to catch the ball. But it happened, a couple times where they had to put it on.
It's kind of a flex.
No, honestly, I was just gonna say like that's a humble brag, and I'm okay with you talking like that because you're that good. I remember placing guys in high school that like made it to the next level, and they were the same. Like they were like you'd see them in the running back, they run a touchdown, then you see them on being a linebacker. The next, I'm like, what is going on? Like this player is dominating this game just
on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I'm like,
I mean, it's kind of like Travis Hunter right now. In college football. I mean,
being able to do that at
crazy.
A high level like that,
crazy.
that's pretty cool. Like, when did you like pick your position or like decide, okay, I'm gonna be this position, or like how'd that kind of pan out for your career?
I think I just always kind of like was more gravitated towards defense.
Yeah.
And then also I think throughout high school when I was like, all right, like I want to play football at the next level, I just kind of always felt that linebacker defense would kind of just always project more for me.
Right.
Just like I wasn't sure of like for running back, stuff like that, those other positions I was going to be fast enough, everything like that. So I just felt like linebacker was definitely a spot I could play at the next level.
I feel like everyone too like wants to be an offense guy. They want to score those touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
They want the pretty the fame, I guess you could say. But then when you make it to the next level, it's like everyone is the fame. You know what I mean? Like especially being a pro athlete, like linebacker position is like who wouldn't want to be a linebacker in the league? And you got to be able to give a hit. Like I give you credit. I wouldn't want to meet you in the A gap. That's for sure.
Now that happens to a lot of guys in college. They come in as like they call them like athletes, and because they play offense and defense in high school. And then they get to college, and the college kind of decides, like, all right, you're going to play this position or this position. Yeah. But they just come in as athletes.
And you were saying number 12. I'm assuming that was your number. Like you.
Yeah, 12. Yeah, 12 was my
And then
number.
what's the reasoning behind 44?
Okay, 44 was just what. So 12 was like my brother's number, so that's kind of why I always wore 12.
Okay.
That's why I wore UB, and then 44 is just the number they gave me at the Bills, which I like. I like the double, like
Yeah.
4-4.
Yeah.
Because I was at Bryant, my first school. I was 55.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know, it just kind of happened out, and that was the number they gave me my freshman year,
Yeah.
and I just never changed it because
Right.
I liked it and everything like that. The bad thing about 62 though, like in college and now if like guys watch my high school tape, I always get a little like picked on because they're like, why are you wearing 62? Like that's the ugliest number.
That's an O-line number. Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool in the NFL that you guys can wear whatever number.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm-hmm.
like I'm surprised that never like caught on quicker. I
Yeah.
feel like I don't know. It's crazy.
So,
to me.
there's always some dust numbers out there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like no matter what. Like who do you think has the dustiest number on our team?
I think on our team, I think number 2. I do. I think two is a bad number. I don't know
Really?
why. 2 or
77?
yeah, no. 2 number 5.
5's a bad number.
2 or number 5. Yeah, I'd say probably you. What do you
Yeah.
think?
Yeah. It used to be ads. 6.
6 is bad.
6
too.
is kind of a tough number.
That's Paulie now.
Paulie, yeah. I mean, but sometimes like the number suits the guy.
Yeah.
Right, like Paulie's like, I'm just gonna get in front of another shot. I'm gonna hack you up, and if you talk enough, I'm gonna punch you in the mouth. So
Yeah.
it's like, I was like, what am I say? Chirp your number and get punched in the face? Like, it's just that's
fair.
not a great idea either.
Yeah.
So there's another story that came out of mine and Belt's conversation. I don't know if this one's true, but apparently at your pro day, you were benching too much, so they told you to stop.
Oh no. They didn't tell me to stop. No.
So what's I think because you did stop, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. What was the
it too
thought
easy,
process
or what?
behind it? Or?
So my dad's was a power lifter back in the day.
Okay.
So he kind of taught me how to bench at a young age.
Yeah.
So I know like good form and everything like that. Like I'm good at benching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much, just to put it short.
I can tell.
And so the pro day, you kind of do the bench, and then you do the bench first, and then you do everything after that.
Okay.
And my trainer that trains me up in the North Towns, he didn't want me to bench at all because he's like, we need you to run fast, we need you to do this stuff. Like benching's gonna like get your back tight, especially like if you're gonna like push every rep out that you can do. And so like he didn't want me to bench at all, but my dad was like, well, you gotta like you can bench a lot, you gotta bench like
Put it up.
and like like the bench isn't like the biggest thing for the pro day. It's like like teams want to see that you can bench obviously and that you're like a strong player, but like they care more about like the speed and everything like that.
Yeah.
So, but my dad, he's like, you're gonna bench and you're gonna like bench a lot. So we kind of like decide on a number, like, okay, you're gonna do this number and then you're gonna rack it. But then actually during my pro day, one of the scouts was there. He was like, make sure you lock out. So it was actually like a lot harder because like, I'm like, you're going and like in a rhythm, and then the scouts started screaming like, make sure you lock out.
Yeah.
And that like threw my rhythm off because now I'm like, like, are they not counting these reps or something?
Yeah.
And then, so like I got to like the number that I wanted, and I like harder than I expected to, and then I racked it still, but I thought it was going to be even easier than that.
Well, we got to give a shout out to Milk for Health, obviously, with those strong bones. And honestly, we need to figure out what gym you're at because we need to get there.
we might have to start coming to bench with you, bro, because this guy, he's not even pushing 185. I don't think he's seen 2 pies in a couple of years.
There you go.
A couple of years.
Yeah, it's true. I'm fast. I can get away. We got one final question here.
Yeah. One last one, and no pressure.
Yeah.
But should Josh Allen be MVP?
I believe 100%.
And
so.
why is that?
So I'm a Bills fan too, first of all, but I think he should already have an MVP under his belt. Me personally, obviously, there's a big debate between other quarterbacks that should get it, and I see him on the sideline, you know, for a defensive coordinator to scheme against Josh Allen.
Right.
It's almost impossible. You know, like your defense can play perfect football on that snap, and Josh is going to do something like that you can't plan for, and it's got to be so frustrating to do that and see that. You know, a lot of people are bringing up the stats and everything like that, but I think, you know, just like the eye test, Josh is having that special year, and that's like nothing against the other guys. Obviously, the other guys are super good too, but I think it's just Josh's year. Obviously, our record is what it is, and you know, I don't think Josh probably cares about the MVP, but you know, I think him and everyone else really wants that Super Bowl and kind of that push in the playoffs. So, but
that boy's balling, man.
yeah, I think like 100%. You know, everyone on our team thinks it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
So.
And you know what? It's cool, right? Like from the outside looking in, you know, it looks like your entire team is just so behind him.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
And that's obviously, you know, a true testament, you know, to his character and to who he is as a person. So you know, we're hoping for him. You know, if we had a vote, it would be for Josh as well. So, and not just because we have the same name, but but yeah. I mean, listen, you know, appreciate you stopping by, man. It's been fun. You know, obviously you're tremendous in not only on the field, but obviously, you know, in the community as well. So you know, we know the city of Buffalo really loves you, and you know, it's been great, you know, chopping up with you.
Yeah, we obviously want to thank you. He's kind of nailed it right on the head, and obviously you have some upcoming games and playoffs coming up, so we want to wish you guys good luck, and yourself included, because I watched the tail of the last game, and you're all over the field making crazy plays. I'm glad I'm not out there.
I was trying.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, thank you, and good luck moving forward.
Thank you. You as well, guys. You as well.
Appreciate it. All right, that's it for today. You know, thanks for joining us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and you know, feel free to comment if you guys have someone that you want to see on our pod. We got a lot of great guests lined up, but always room for some new ones. So hit that subscribe button wherever you get your podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever it is. Make sure you stay tuned and stay dialed.
And thank you, obviously, Milk for Health, for being a great sponsor. We'll see you soon.